to hear from Code Compliance Officer Mark Jones. And we're going to ask, Mark's going to give us a report, and if you have any questions for him, we're going to ask that you just meet him over there, so in the vestibule after he speaks. Thank you. Come on.
Hi, I'm Mark Jones. I'm the supervisor with Code Compliance. I know a lot of times Mariah Quinn is here, who is the inspector for this area, but she's out of town at the moment. I really don't have a presentation. My big thing was to remind you all that the permits are still free until September 14th, or excuse me, September 16th. So if you have any plans to do anything with your homes, this would be a great time to submit for the permits.
We just have to apply by September 14th?
Well, I believe that you have to supply, or, because that's typically when you're paying your fees. I don't know that answer, I'm sorry. And for the one who spoke up that who needs a permit, then you get to see code compliance. So, anyone that has any issues or something they want to discuss with me, I'll be over here on the side, so I don't take up any more of the time that's needed here tonight. Thank you.
All right, our next person we're going to hear from is our interim fire chief, Chris Hughes. And we're hoping you'll come back sometime later and do a more fulsome presentation. But right now, we just wanted to introduce you to interim chief Chris Hughes. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I won't take much of your time. I just wanted to come out and introduce myself. I'm going to all the community meetings, just kind of get out there in the public. I know I'm only interim right now, hopefully full-time, but we'll see what happens with that. But in the meantime, I still want to come out and get to meet you guys, let you guys know the fire department is here for you. I don't know if you see us much. We're not as flashy as police, and you know we're not needed as much, but hey, we still have a role in the community, and you know we have a fire station right across the street. So if you guys ever need anything from the fire department, anything medical, you know, smoke detectors, that sort of thing, 671-4000 is our number. We'll be happy to come out and help you guys out with anything you need. A little bit about myself. I've been in the city for 25 years. Rose through the ranks from firefighter. I was a lieutenant at your Station 3 right around the corner for probably about 10 of those years. So very familiar with the Beachside. It's one of my favorite stations. The weekends and the nighttime kind of stink, but you get used to that after a while. So that's just a little bit about me. If anyone has any quick questions, I know you have a very long night with the candidates here, but I'll be happy to answer anything you have. If not, I'll come back and see you maybe in a few months and give a presentation more a little bit about the fire department. I'll give her a chance to talk to you guys and see if you have a list of questions or that sort of thing. All right. Well, thank you guys very much.
All right, and now we're going to hear from Joyce Aycock, who is our Seniors versus Crime representative. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Ann. I won't take up a lot of time because I told I was only had 1 minute. So what I'm going to do in the future, and I don't have it ready tonight anyway, was we're required for the Florida Attorney General's office to submit a monthly report. And it's kind of like the police stats that the captain does for you about Daytona Beach Police. So I can do that and supply that to everybody for Volusia County, and we also cover Brevard County. But showing, our open cases, our closed cases, what our success is, what money we got back that goes directly to the person. We don't keep anything. And what type of cases there are out there. So I think that would be more informative for everyone. If you have any other suggestions of what you would want to hear from me, just let me know. The radio show has been postponed till September 16th, so I have some of these out here, so please listen to the Daytona Beach radio, Joy, 106.3 FM on September 16th. We got some new booklets here about fraud. It says a guide for seniors, but as you know, we help all adults, not just seniors. So I've got a supply of those out there and other stuff out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. And now we will have our Treasurer Secretary's report from our Secretary Treasurer, Jared Hoffbauer.
I'll just be real brief. I'm not going to read all the numbers that are on the agenda, but we have our two basic accounts, and we only had money come out of one of those for some supplies for food. We also have the $275 that we raised in the last meeting, plus a $100 pledge for the folk festival. And that basically wraps up. Thank you.
Thank you. And we do have written answers back from the city manager, and we'll work on getting those posted to the website, and then a link sent out to everybody and shared on Facebook. So that's in the works. Now we're going to do business spotlight. Jeff Murphy will introduce our guests. Thank you.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Jeff Murphy. I'm on the board. Something we've been doing the last couple months is bringing in a local business just to kind of talk about features that we have in our area. I'd like to introduce Vince Cardone with Residential Inspections LLC.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Jeff and Laura for inviting me here tonight. I really want to just kind of talk to you really quickly about insurance. I know how insurance costs have risen a lot lately. I'm a home inspector. I've been a home inspector here for 10 years. I've been part of the Board of Realtors in Daytona Beach for 9 years. And we're trying to do whatever we can to help you get the information you possibly can to help lower your insurance. We have programs on our website. Everybody has my business card as far as what we can do and what we can help you with, some guidance to help lower your insurance or maintain your property. But the state of Florida every year comes out with the My Safe Florida program. It's a state-funded program that helps you fortify your house, helps you in maintaining your house with certain systems, especially being so close to the beach. That what you can do as far as investments in your home that's supplemented by the state to help you with your house to maintain your property as much as you possibly can. The one thing I tell my clients when I do inspections is simply this. If you ever have any kind of damage, before you put a call into your insurance carrier, find out what the cost is, because sometimes the cost minus your deductibles is going to be less than the value, other than something that's catastrophic. But sometimes damages that you can do out of pocket versus putting in a claim can help you in the long run, because you will not have a claim at that point and you're paying out of pocket. And sometimes the cost of that repair is less than deductible. There's a lot of things that we can do to help you. If you have any questions, ask Jeff and Laura to give me a call or call me or shoot me a text, and I'll respond as much as I possibly can. But do basic maintenance, do annual inspections, things that can help maintain your house, that can help lower your insurance costs, because the costs are continually rising, and each zip code is getting more and more challenging. So we'll try to help you any way we can to help you stay in your house. More importantly, help you maintain your insurance costs down. But feel free to give me a call. Like I said, ask Jeff and Laura, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Can't wait to see who we see next month. Okay. Now we're on to our announcements. We're going to do Pass the Hat for the general fund, which is going to fund the wonderful repast we put out every meeting. Oh, there's a mistake here. Good? The First Step, Chad has been very diligently going to the First Step Shelter board meetings, and he's now posting videos of them online on our Beachside Neighborhood Watch YouTube channel. Where homelessness is such a big issue for us here on the beach side, it's good to pay attention to what's going on with the homeless shelter. Beachside Redevelopment Board is meeting next Wednesday. City Commission meetings, August 18th and September 2nd. And now we want to thank Lady of Lords, Father Phil, Hillary and her crew, and Our Lady of Lords veterans. They all work with us to help us put on these meetings, allow us to meet here, allow us to cook here for the barbecues, and to help staff the barbecues. So thank you to that entire community here. Thank you. And yeah, we can give them all a round of applause. Thank you. And I also want to thank the B&W board members, some of whom are here, so you can stand up or raise your hand. Oh, One sec, we'll get, yes. So thank you to Ted, Vern, Sharon, Ken, Sue, Laura, Jeff, Kelly's not here, Jared, and Jasmine. So thank you guys. Without you guys, this could not happen. We really need it. And now I see that Captain Gernert has gotten here, so we will have her give us our police report. Thank you.
I apologize for my tardiness. Everybody doing all right? All right. So for your proactive enforcement for the last 3 weeks in the district, we've had 5 felony arrests, 50 misdemeanor arrests, 105 traffic stops with 73 citations, and 29 field interview cards. They've made 7 camping arrests, 2 obstructing the sidewalk arrests, and 2 FDOT arrests. And I'll get to that in just a second. Your Seabreeze overtime has been doing really well. It's been doing its best to keep the problems down. They've had 47 calls, 8 reports, 3 misdemeanors, 28 tickets, and 26 citations. Your bicycle unit for the month of July had 102 reports, 32 felonies, 75 misdemeanors, 26 traffic stops with 23 citations, and 192 field interview cards, which is a lot. They're doing everything they can to arrest or deter any kind of criminal activity or nefarious activities over there off the boardwalk, Breakers Park area. To go back to your FDOT detail, we have an agreement with FDOT to enforce trespassing in certain roadways. Those roadways are Ridgewood, Nova, Mason Avenue, Speedway, and Bevel Road. So the initiative is basically that a person cannot utilize the median and they can't walk out into the roadway to create an unsafe environment for both the pedestrian and the vehicle traffic. So we've probably got about 50 people that have been identified and warned about being in the medians and in the roadways, and we've made 7 arrests out of that so far. So that is where we are.
I have a question.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the statute? These people standing on the medians,
Yes.
it's very dangerous because the median's only like 2 feet wide.
Yes, sir.
And they're trying to get donations. What is the law on that?
That's just what I was talking about with the FDOT program that we're part of. They've given us permission to warn and then arrest them for trespassing. The other thing we're allowed to do is write them a citation, like a traffic ticket, for using the median instead of the sidewalk that's provided. We do also enforce that as well. And if they get caught doing that again, we have the authority to arrest them for failing to comply with a police order.
But it
We've
can't-
done that before as well.
Can't be on the median anymore.
No, not supposed to be on the median.
Okay.
How quickly we get it addressed,
You have to be so many feet on the sidewalk from the light?
no. They can be on the sidewalk, they can walk up and down the sidewalk with their signs, but they can't enter the roadway and they can't affect traffic.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
So if they do, then what?
As long as we can get there to see it, then we can address it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So they basically go like a revolving.
They can,
Why does it take so long to get the permission to arrest?
because I didn't know about it till about a few months ago. That would be why. Yes, sir.
Brought my attention Sunday that the homeless are camping in certain locations.
Okay,
He brought out the right side of the plaza.
okay.
Literally, in a tent, they sleep there if the accident, there's a problem there, there's a problem on Magnolia.
Well, I'm aware of Magnolia.
They just kind of live there. Is there anything you can do to kind of move them along?
Our patrol units are doing everything they can to address the Magnolia section. Unfortunately, they're gonna be near the convenience store. We're stopping them, warning them about obstructing the sidewalk. A couple of them have been arrested for such a thing, but I didn't catch where you said the other encampment was.
On the beach by, the Plaza Hotel.
On the beach?
Yeah.
The beach, like the sand itself?
Yeah.
And the county, I'll let the county know, because that's not us.
All right,
Is that it?
awesome.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Thank you very much. All right, now, we have to acknowledge our elected officials. We have Ken Strickland, Monica Paris. I think that's it. Oh, no, yeah, and then the candidates, of course, but, oh yeah, and former Commissioner Ruth Traeger. Thank you, Ruth. It's good to see you there again. Thank you, Kevin. Okay, now we are on to our candidate question, Q&A. And we did something a little different this time. Instead of taking, for 2 months, we asked you guys to submit questions, and then we put the questions together, and we get them to the candidates ahead of time. And what we're asked them to do was, they're gonna have a 2-minute open, 1 minute to answer each question, because we are interested in answers of substance. What are they gonna do? It's understood they cannot move the entire commission themselves, but what will they champion? What causes do they support? So we really wanted answers of substance, and I think everybody's gonna have them, I'm really hoping. So we are gonna have Monica Paris is coming up. She's gonna go first and answer questions. Then we'll have Chris Mavronas. Chris, do you wanna sit here? Doesn't matter where you sit, we stand up. No, just everybody come up. I'm gathering the candidates up here. So John Navarro. So this is Monica Paris, current commissioner and candidate for Zone 1. She's running against John Navarro. They're running in the November election. This is Chris Mavronas, and he is running against Steve Miller and the incumbent Juanita May, and they are running for City Commission Zone 3. We did issue an invitation to Juanita May. She did not respond, so we have 4 candidates tonight. Now, let's go. All right, so, one more housekeeping thing. Sharon over there, see Sharon? Everybody see Sharon over there? She is our timekeeper. When you see Sharon waving, that means stop talking. Thank you. All right, much appreciated. Here comes Monica. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica Paris, and I've had the honor of serving as the Daytona Beach Zone 1 Commissioner for the past 4 years. I don't know why I still get nervous in front of you guys, meanwhile I've been here for the last 4 years, so please bear with me. I'd like to thank the Beachside Neighborhood Watch for organizing this candidate forum, and also for being very involved in our community, coming to meetings, providing us a space where we could let people know what our concerns are. And as an elected official, that helps me because then I could bring it back to staff and see where we could help. One of the most important parts of any election is having informed voters. And this evening gives candidates a chance to let you know who they are, what they're about, and what their platform is, and why they're asking for your vote. When I first ran for office, it was because I felt that there was a disconnect between City Hall and the requests of the residents. I wanted to be a commissioner who listens first, asked questions, and made sure the voices of the people I represent were being heard. Every decision I made comes back to, does this make sense for the Daytona Beach residents? Over the past 4 years, I've been proud to work alongside our residents to work to get issues accomplished. We worked on requiring address markers on seawalls to assist with beach emergencies. So wherever you are, Ted, thank you for letting me know about that. We got that done. Privacy screening at active construction sites to improve beautification standards, coordinating canal and ditch maintenance with other agencies, with private owners as well, addressing nuisance properties that resulted in warrants, arrests, and property cleanups, and advocating for cleaner, safer neighborhoods. I believe good government starts with listening, being accessible, and following through. While there's always more work to do, I will remain committed to being fiscally responsible, improving our infrastructure, enhancing public safety, and protecting the quality of life that makes Daytona Beach such a special place to live. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this evening, and I respectfully ask for your support and your vote. Thank you, Monica Paris, Daytona Beach City Commissioner.
Good evening, and thank you to Beachside Neighborhood Watch for bringing us all together here tonight. My name is Mavronas. I am a local small business owner and someone who has spent decades solving real problems, managing budgets, employing people, creating jobs, serving my customers, and working alongside our community stakeholders. I'm running because Zone 3 needs a commissioner who follows through. My priorities are clear: support first responders, strengthen public safety, address nuisance properties, improve our parks, and make the beachside a place where residents and businesses can succeed all year round, not only during special events. My approach is practical. I will push for public timelines and progress reports on major projects, hold regular neighborhood office hours, and clear standards for all city services. On the beach side, I will champion better lighting, cleaner streets, safer beach access, a stronger connection between Main Street, Boardwalk, East ISB, downtown, and focus recruitment of businesses that serve residents and visitors every day. I understand that one commissioner alone cannot do everything, but one commissioner can ask the hard questions, bring people to the table, build public support, and keep an issue moving until the work gets done. I will listen, I will be accessible, and I will tell residents the truth, even when the answer is difficult. Most importantly, I will measure success by results people see in their own neighborhoods. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm John Navarra, and I'm running for Daytona Beach City Commission, Zone 1. Thank you, Our Lady of Lords, for hosting this event. I've been in the community for 46 years, and my mother's funeral was at this church, and also 3 of my grandparents had their funerals at Our Lady of Lords Church. I first wanted to run for office when I was 18. I just got out of Spruce Creek High School, and I went to the University of Alabama to study journalism and political science. And I did notice in high school that some of my friends, a lot of the neighborhoods, weren't as prosperous as some other neighborhoods. There was an enormous amount of economic inequality in Daytona Beach. So when I was 18 years old, I started to study and research how we could reduce poverty in Daytona Beach. So I wanted the families of some of my classmates at Spruce Creek. One was Tiger Mack, played on the football team. Another one, Jonathan White. When I ran for the Florida House of Representatives, I did meet people that still knew them, which was kind of cool. And I did want a better community and to do better for my community. So I've studied different ways to reduce economic inequality in the area. And I also have wanted to work, especially at this time, with the homeless issue, the people who are drug addicted, and what we can do about that. That's one of our questions, so I'll kind of address that later. But I'm just I'm a teacher also. I worked in public service since 1999 as an American government teacher at Pine Ridge High School. And now I want to go to serving my community as an elected official. Some people say, which is true for them, that they decided at a later age to run for office. But I've been working on this for 43 years and planning this campaign and my 2 others for Florida House of Representatives for quite a long time. So I'll do my best, and thank you.
Good evening. My name is Steve Miller, and I feel like I'm home. You know, I run the Midtown Neighborhood Watch meeting, but I'm a regular attendant here at the Beachside. So the reason I went last is because I'm home. I'm a former revenue officer with Internal Revenue Service, and I'm a long-time accountant. I represent people who owe money to Internal Revenue Service, so we deal with financial statements, accounting information all the time. I served as a Zone 5 City Commission from 93 to 95, so I don't need on-the-job training. I can handle that. I'm former Executive Director of Central Florida Community Development, and currently we've built over 300 houses in the Daytona Beach area. I'm vice chairman of the Peabody Board, president of Midtown Neighborhood Watch. One of the things I'm grateful for is helping to change 2nd Avenue to Mary McLeod Bethune in honor of the Queen herself. I also led the effort to change the ordinance. When I first came to Daytona Beach, you couldn't have a small business unless it was in Pelican Bay. However, building coalitions, we was able to get that change, and now any and everybody in the city of Daytona Beach can have a small business. It is a pleasure to be here. I've been knocking on many, many doors. 3 times I've gone throughout the entire neighborhood. I stand on the corner in the morning and in the evening just to wave at you guys, but not only do I wave, but I also pray for you. Not only do I pray for you in the morning, but I pray for you every night. We have a prayer line that we have every night that ends in Y. We've been doing it for about 15, 18 years now. So I pray for this community. I love this neighborhood, and it is a pleasure to be here. And I want to say thank you to these guys who are running for office. It's more than a notion, it's a lot of work and effort. And thank you for the Neighborhood Watch for having this. Thank you again. My name is Steve Miller, candidate for Daytona Beach City Commission Zone 3.
He's even knocking on my door. Okay? With a sign in my yard, he's still knocking on my door.
You never know where the votes are gonna come from. Okay, here's our first question. All candidates talk about their leadership ability. What are 3 specific things you've done that you have done as a community leader? So what 3 things have you done within the community to benefit the community? Thank you. Here comes Monica, then Chris, then John, then Steve.
Leadership is about solving problems, not making promises. First, I've worked directly with residents to address flooding, to address infrastructure, and public safety concerns by bringing multiple agencies together to find solutions. Second, I focused on fiscal accountability by asking tough questions about spending and making sure taxpayer dollars are used properly. Third, I've worked to build pride in our community by helping with our sesquicentennial celebration, which was Daytona Beach's 150th birthday. So I brought together residents, businesses, nonprofits, and city staff together to celebrate Daytona Beach's milestone birthday, to celebrate our history and also to celebrate our future. Leadership is about listening, which I pride myself on, asking the right questions. If anyone comes to a commission meeting knows that I ask a ton of questions, and asking the right questions and delivering results. Thank you.
Okay, guys, you all know I own Steve's Famous Diner, Beachside, and the one on Navarra Road I used to own as well. So I have led that local business for over 25 years, and my father before me since 1986. So 40 years our restaurant has been serving this community. And we've led our business through difficult economic conditions while creating jobs, training employees, and being accountable every day to workers, customers, and vendors. Leadership means making decisions and standing behind those decisions. Second, during the pandemic, I organized meals for police officers and firefighters and other first responders who were serving the community under extraordinary pressure. Third, during the major storms and all the hurricanes we've had through here in the past 25 years, my family and business stepped forward again to feed the first responders and help people, homeless people, and all the people working through that emergency. I also serve on the Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce Board, where I work with other local leaders on the needs of businesses and our community. Those experiences taught me to listen, coordinate people and resources, and act when help is needed. That is the same hands-on leadership I will bring to the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. The first thing that I have done as a community leader was I had signed up when I was first running for the Florida House of Representatives to work on the Faith Research Committee for flooding. And so I've worked on that committee as often as I could around my schedule as a school teacher. The second thing I've done is I had worked with the organization called Baby Steps on Keat Street, and when I was first running for Florida House of Representatives, I found out that in the zip code 32114, which part of that area I would be representing in the Daytona Beach City Commission, the infants have a 50% less chance of reaching their first birthday than if they live in any other zip code in Daytona Beach. And if that's not a reason to run for office, I can't give you one. So I saw that statistic and it was so horrifying and I wanted to do something about it. So I worked with Baby Steps and I helped them try to acquire a grant for telehealth. And the state approved that grant. So I went to Tallahassee and I got the assistance of Fentress Driscoll, who is the minority leader of the Florida House of Representatives. She was helping me in any way she can, which is very great. And then also in the Capitol, I spoke very passionately about, and so many bills, but I spoke about a bill for foster care. Thank you.
Three things of leadership. First came to the city of Daytona Beach. I have a friend by the name of Hubert Grimes. You probably know him as Judge Hubert Grimes. I convinced him to run for county court judge, and I could not believe that the number of people in Volusia County, if I knew it was so large, I would have said, no, Hubert, you don't qualify for that. But we hired him to apply for the job, and he actually became the first African-American judge in Volusia County. I'm very proud of the fact that we led the effort to change 2nd Avenue to Mary McLeod Bethune, and I'm grateful that she's at Statutory Hall in Washington, D.C., representing all of us in the great state of Florida. And in fact, I told you about home occupational license. It was amazing to me that you didn't pay people much money to work here in Volusia County, Daytona Beach, so why not allow people to start their own business out of their home? So I'm grateful for leading that effort. So I've been on a part of a lot of things. In fact, I named the 2nd Avenue Merchants Association. I was accountant and I was in the Midtown area, so we started the 2nd Avenue Merchants Association, but I can go on and on and on. And I love the fact that my friend Christo, business name Steve's Downer. I normally tell people that's really my daughter and he worked for me, but that's not true. His father had vision, and I started Miller Tice Consultants 45 years ago, and it wasn't my father that helped me, I did it myself. Thank you very much.
All right, now, before we get to the next question, I think there was a handout that has the questions on it and the contact information for all the candidates, so that if you want to take notes on the questions, and then reach out to them afterwards with your comments. I know they'd all be happy to meet with you in person at any time, and or be contacted by email. So, okay, next question. What would you do to make City Hall feel more accountable to residents?
Accountability starts with communication and transparency. I had a resident who's here today who brought up there was a lot of debris and litter that was left behind by people sleeping in a place they shouldn't be sleeping. And I worked with staff to make sure that it was addressed, and then we kind of found out the reason why it didn't look like it was cleaned up was because it just keeps happening after it does get cleaned up. So what I think is really important is that we are, as commissioners, accessible to the public so that you could get in touch with us and that we could relay your message. And it should be our job to hold people accountable. Either it's follow up once, follow up twice, follow up 3 times until it's actually done. I know it seems like things take a long time to get done, but unfortunately there's a lot of things that need to get done and certain things do take priority, but I'm always here to listen and relay people's message because I'm here to represent the residents of Zone 1 and also the residents of Daytona Beach because we are one city. Thank you.
Okay, I would propose a public online dashboard for major projects and resident complaints, showing the department responsible, current status, deadlines, and any reasons for any type of delays. I would also hold regular Zone 3 office hours in the neighborhood, not only at City Hall, and require residents to receive an acknowledgement and tracking number when they report a problem. For major votes, I will explain my position in plain language before and immediately after the meeting. And during the budget process, I will ask departments to connect spending requests to measurable results. Residents may not agree with every decision, but they should never feel ignored or unable to find answers. Thank you.
Yes, I've thought about this a lot. What I would like to propose is that on a possibly different evening, the commissioners, the city manager, and the mayor can meet like a city commission meeting and respond to the public's questions. Because often at the end of the meeting, we can only ask questions, but it's not a forum in which the commissioners are ready to give a response. So I think having that kind of forum is okay within the sunshine laws. It does not violate the sunshine laws. If you just call a meeting, they're all there, it's public, it's something that would be done once a month. And I think that would give some accountability to the residents. And also, I think we need to be very accountable on how the city spends money to be able to earn back the trust of the community. Thank you.
I like Christo talking about having a meeting with the residents. I've been having a meeting with the residents in my district for 4 years. That's like 48 meetings in the last 4 years. My opponent, I don't think either one of you guys ever had a meeting for the community, but we do that all the time. But I think that City Hall should leave City Hall and come to the neighborhoods. I think at least quarterly or every 4 or 5 months, we should take the city commission meeting to you guys, because we truly work for you. And if you can't come to City Hall should come to you. That would be what I would do to try to make the community feel a lot more involved with city government. Thank you.
All right. Some view short-term rentals as a blessing. Others view them as potential blight. What is your view on changing our regulations on short-term rentals?
Short-term rentals are a very important part of a tourism economy, but the downside may be for some that it's in residential areas where people expect to have peace and quiet. I'm for people's property rights, and I do believe that we should keep people responsible if they do have short-term rentals to comply with noise and trash regulations. But at the same time, we still have to realize that we are based on a tourism economy, and this would be able to help it. Thank you.
Just to respond to Mr. Miller, I've been having meetings with residents in Daytona Beach since 1998 when I took over the Bevel Road location from my father. So I have meetings every day, probably hundreds of thousands of people I've met with, and they've told me their concerns and things that they need help with in the community. So yeah, I'm up there, I'm right up there with you, my brother. Thank you. Short-term rentals can support tourism and responsible property owners, but residential neighborhoods should not become unregulated hotel districts. I would not support a blanket expansion into areas where they are currently prohibited without evidence that neighborhood safety and quality of life can be protected. Where short-term rentals are legally allowed, I would champion annual local registration, a named local contact available around the clock, occupancy and parking limits, safety requirements, and a clear escalating penalty system for repeat violations involving noise, trash, illegal parking, or overcrowding. I would also require the city to publish complaint and enforcement data before considering any major regulatory change. The balance is simple. Welcome responsible operators, protect our neighbors, and make the worst repeat offenders, not every homeowner, the focus of enforcement. Thank you.
things in life are a balance, and in a society it's a balance too. A bed and breakfast or short-term rental could be run very, very well and very, very easily. I think just having pretty strict rules on it. My daughter and I, we drove to California. I wanted to drive down I-10 to California for many, many years, and finally we did. And we stayed at a bed and breakfast in Riverside, California, and it was just myself, my daughter, one car, and it wasn't much of a burden at all on the community. So it really could work if it's done right. The thing is, too many cars and I guess too big of an event. So I think if people just have very restricted short-term rentals, I think this would work out really well. People can still make their money, people can still stay in a house, and it was nice to stay in a house. And I think it could work very well as long as it's very well regulated, very fairly regulated, would work fine. Thank you.
Man, I really love Christo's answer. And in fact, this is the truth. If I wasn't in the race, I would vote for this guy. I really would. His answer was great. I think it has to be regulated. We have to take in consideration the criminal element, parking, just like everybody said here. And we have to begin to discuss what area we want to do that in. In some areas that I don't think that it will work, but in some areas, and of course, we are on the beach side, you know, it's a tourist area, so we need to take a look at it, but it has to be done in a decent and orderly manner. It really can be. And again, I like this guy.
I like you too.
All right, next question. Some view the current enforcement of code complaints as too lax. Others view the current enforcement of code complaints as too onerous. What would you recommend to create a satisfactory balance for all? It's actually a hard question.
So I believe that code enforcement should be first an educational tool, right? So people need to know what's allowed, what's not. Maybe something that's, I would think, is not a violation, but it is a violation. So number one would be informing the residents or business owner where the violation is. Secondly, I do believe that most residents do want to comply with the regulations if they understand it. At the same time, I don't believe that chronic violators should be given chance after chance after chance to get something done. So we all see how these buildings that are negatively affecting property values, the area, so it's very important to make sure that we do stay on top of it so people are responsible for their property so that we could provide a clean and safe environment. I don't think the goal is writing more citations. I think it's just creating safer neighborhoods for everyone.
I would create a consistent risk-based system. Dangerous conditions, illegal dumping, and chronic nuisance properties should receive immediate attention. Minor first-time violations should begin with clear written notice, photographs, the exact rule involved, a reasonable correction period, and information about available assistance. The city should use the same standards in every neighborhood and publish average response and resolution times. Repeat offenders and owners who ignore notices should face progressively stronger enforcement, while seniors, disabled residents, and owners facing a genuine hardship, financial hardship, should be connected with repair or cleanup programs when possible. I would also require a supervisory review for long-running cases so complaints do not disappear into the system. The goal is compliance, not punishment, but fairness requires timely action when a property repeatedly harms its neighbors. Thanks.
I have interesting news for you. The Code Enforcement Department of the City of Daytona Beach has a good sense of humor. In about 2019, when COVID had hit, I understand that they had sent a letter to many residents requesting that they paint their houses, and they said, "You're home, the paint store is open, and go at it." And it was a nice way to do that. How I know about that, I'm an American government teacher in Volusia County Schools, and I would like to invoke my Fifth Amendment tonight, rights not to reveal how I know about that letter. But my house was well painted about a year ago, just to be on the record. I do think that the code enforcement does an excellent job. I do hear at the meetings about a lot of buildings in which they wish the code enforcement could get better action, and we all kind of do. So I think that maybe with every year kind of evaluate what the code is and look at it every year to make sure that it's on track. But I think code enforcement is really well done in Daytona Beach, and sending the letters just kind of like, hey, paint your house, is a really good way of just kind of alerting people without being too offensive. So I'm really proud of our code enforcement department at Daytona Beach. Thank you.
We call it code compliance and not code enforcement. And the reason we call it code compliance is that we want people to come in compliance with the rules and regulations. I got a chance to talk to my dear friend Denzel Sykes, and he said, you know, harsh, Steve, some people think it's harsh. He said, well, I would like to know what they consider harsh. Don't have a person who violates every month and they call it harsh. It's compliance, and we're trying to get people to come in compliance. And that's a delicate situation because people want to feel that their city is not overburdening them. And some people, in fact, it was stated in code that some people don't have the finance to actually get their property in compliance. So in that situation, the city truly give these individuals additional time to come in compliance before they actually drag them into court. And I think that's a good mix. And besides, code is also under state law. They have to comply with state regulations as well. So we're not harsh to our residents. We're trying to help them come in compliance, and I think that's a pretty good mix.
Okay, this is a vision question. What is your vision for an improved core tourist area? We'll start with Monica, and Chris, and John, and Steve.
Our core tourist area should be clean, safe, and walkable. I think we're gonna get that t-shirt made up. And I think that should be every day, not just during special events. I've advocated for, and I believe that we need stronger connection between the Ocean Center and Main Street, to the boardwalk, to the band shell. Also that when people come to our city, they wanna walk and they wanna explore. And I would also like to bring in family-friendly restaurants, also putting in better streetscapes, attracting public spaces year-round, and maintaining an area to a high standard. I advocate this at least 2 times a month at city commission meetings. I was able to push to get curbs painted. We have our Rakers Park Center that's there, is gonna be repainted. Also to get repairs done on the boardwalk. We agreed as a commission to fund these projects because I think we all believe that that's very important, but I was able to walk with Public Works and point out the areas that needed improvement. And I know it may not seem fast enough or enough to some people, for me, but it's baby steps, and I think we are moving in the right direction, so thank you.
Our core tourist area, Beachside, is a mess. We need to clean it up. It's been neglected for far too long. We all need to come together and clean it up. And but that's first, I just wanted to say that. But my vision is a clean, safe, walkable district that connects East International Speedway, Main Street, the boardwalk, the pier, and the Ocean Center, and gives people a reason to stay longer and return year-round. I would champion coordinated lighting, landscaping, sidewalks, wayfinding, beach access, public restrooms, and visible community policing throughout that connected district. I would pursue an attractive welcome and public safety presence near ISB and A1A, so visitors immediately know where to go and residents see consistent law enforcement visibility. We also need coordinated programming and business recruitment so the area is active between major events. Modernization should respect Daytona's historic culture and character, not erase it. Success means more families walking the area, more storefronts occupied, fewer nuisance properties, and more visitor spending reaching local businesses. Oh, I also wanted to propose a free to residents trolley kind of service. I know Ann used to talk about that a lot, and she's a champion for that. But I support that. I think we should do that, like a trolley, and go through all the neighborhoods on Beachside, downtown. Like, I think that's a great idea. But anyway, yes, that is it. Thank you.
Yes, I've been looking at this with Beachside and thinking about how it was when I was younger. When I was younger, it had arcades, and I loved playing the arcades. And that's about all they had at the beachside, at the boardwalk. I think that we should look toward, it can't be as big as that, but Disney World, Atlantic City, Long Beach, California, and look at how these places had created places where young people would want to take their children. I think that should be the aim, getting the young parents in, and something that young people would enjoy visiting. I think that would be the pull. The best pull is the kids making the parents go to these places. We could do that, I think, in Daytona Beach. We should use what we have with the Ocean Center, use what we have with the band shell, and look at how many entertainment ways we can have with an amusement park. Maybe not a very large one if we don't have the space, but a nice sized amusement park, and a place that has the best of Atlantic City, not really the gambling and that kind of thing, but I'm thinking more just the children aspect of it. And I think that's where we should be a nice, friendly place to visit, and I think we should lure in the young people of America to want to come to Daytona Beach. Thank you.
I moved to Daytona Beach in 1980, and I remember picking up a news journal, and the article was talking about an article that was in Hustlers magazine, and Hustlers magazine said Daytona Beach was one of the most sleaziest cities in America, and the chamber went off the chain. And I'm looking at this and thinking, wow. And they talk about the rundown hotels that we have here, how dirty the community was, and at the band shell it was really nothing but a rat hole. And I'm thinking, my God, this is awful. However, our city doesn't look nothing like that, and I don't know whether or not Hustle was right at the particular time, but I know that we don't fit that description now. We have beautiful hotels. We're making major improvements in how our city lives. In fact, believe it or not, the city have gone in a lot of debt trying to bring hotels here in. I can remember we had Adam Marks, I was on the commission there, and we had to build them out. So we try to make this a better place, and thank God for the residents that we have in here now that we look a lot better. And I think that we need to continue to work on safety. And I look around the Esplanade, they don't have a lot of police officers. They are manhandling people. They have compliance officers, I guess they have, to help give people information. As I talked to people, they said sometimes the police are kind of heavy-handed here in the neighborhood. I don't see that, but some people do. But I think we need to become a little bit more friendlier as it relates to our tourists that come here, because they are the ones who create the economic engine that we all enjoy here. And I think that people should always enjoy our beaches. Thank you.
All right, our CRA's sunset in 10 years. What projects would you champion in the Beachside CRAs in those 10 years? Thank you.
even though our CRA is sunset in 10 years, I think within the next 3 to 5 years, we have to have solid projects in place so that they could get finished by those 10 years. I do advocate for modernization of our infrastructure, which is like underground utilities, but as one commissioner, I may have my ideas and people have their ideas, but I would, and I do always focus on infrastructure and improving it. And it's important because when people come to the area, they want to see how much investment and maintenance is being made and taken into these areas and where they want to invest. So I think that helps with private investment. I do always advocate also for redevelopment of underutilized properties, and also to make sure that our public spaces are enjoyable for people to come and stay. I think the main goal is to get the foot traffic down here and also to get people to stay longer. Just a quick side note, when we had our 150th sesquicentennial, we created an event to attract families and children. We had thousands of families and children at the band shell for a drone show. Everywhere you looked, people were smiling, people were dancing. We had a successful event, and when we did our debriefing, we didn't have any issues after that. So it is possible. If you want to bring in a certain type of family environment, you have to have certain kind of events. So I think by working on our infrastructure and providing the connectivity, that would be a big help as well.
With only 10 years remaining, CRA money should complete visible, lasting public improvements, not be scattered across projects with no clear finish line. My first priority would be completing the Main Street streetscape with better sidewalks, lighting, landscaping, parking, and pedestrian areas while preserving its character and culture. Second, I would improve the East ISB gateway to the ocean with lighting, wayfinding, safer crossings, and a welcome and public safety presence near A1A. So when you go down East ISB, you know we have the Daytona Beach Arch, right? Right there on A1A and ISB. So there's like a giant restaurant there that's, everyone's always going out of business in that restaurant. So I wanted to propose maybe let's convert that property into a welcome center, like a giant welcome center. When people pull up, they pull up ISB, all these people coming into town, visitors. Wouldn't it be great, have signage? They come, they have a welcome center there with someone there they ask them questions, they help them through what's going on Beachside, where all the events are, the good hotels, you know? And then within that welcome center, we can have like a little substation. I know you already have a substation over here on Beachside, but another substation for the police, and they can have a bike presence out there, and it'll be closer to the boardwalk. So that's just something I was thinking about. But anyway, I would also support targeted facade and building improvement grants tied to private investment and code compliance. Every project should have a cost, timeline, responsible department, and measurable result published before funding is approved. CRA incentives should be performance-based, connected to opening dates, jobs, building improvements, and years of operation. We should help strong businesses open and stay open, not simply provide public money without any measurable commitment. Thank you.
In the middle 1980s, I went to college in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It was 800 miles from here. When I told people at the college where I lived, they often didn't believe me. They're like, you live in the Mecca of spring break. And I experienced spring break in the 80s, and I loved it. My friends loved it, and just about everyone in my dorm wanted to come with me to Daytona Beach. And so Daytona Beach, with the CRA money, first we need to have a clean beachside Daytona Beach. Cleaning it up, having it nice and pleasant, landscaping and all that. The visuals make a big difference. And also very safe, very clean, and also the activities for the children, and also having and it's controversial now with having too many visitors for maybe the wrong reasons for spring break. Daytona Beach had an issue with that last spring break, but many spring breakers like myself just wanted to come down, enjoy themselves, obey the laws, and have a good time. and then go back to their school and back to studying, which wasn't as much fun. So I think that we should clean it up, invest in it, and then have different attractions that would really make people want to come here. But this was a very good place, and people really wanted to come in the 80s, and we really shined. In 89, we had a little too much. I worked at a grocery store in Daytona Beach Shores at that time, and we were overwhelmed. But spring break was really cool back then.
One of the things I would like to see the CRA money used for is something that we have over on the mainland side that you all just don't have. It's amazing to me that you all don't have a pool even on this side of the river. We need a recreational center here. And I know we have Snell, it's the oldest one and it's falling down. And I think that Beachside deserve, and the residents of Daytona Beach deserve a center where they can go and meet and exercise and play basketball and any and every other type of thing that you all need. It's amazing to me that we have, my God, about 4 or 5 centers on the mainland side, and you all have this old building that's falling down. And I don't want to forget y'all have a dog park too. And by the way, we also have 3 commissioners representing the Beachside. And if we don't have a park within the next couple of years, within 10 years, shame on us.
All right. What businesses would you recruit to open in our core tourist area? All right.
I'd focus on businesses that make people stay longer and want to return more. That would include family-friendly restaurants, dessert or coffee shops, boutique malls, interactive spaces. I think what we need to do is create more of an environment that people want to be in, so they'll come back, not just a destination, but some sort of interactive space that they could come and see. Also provide some murals in these locations. I think it's important that when people come to the area, we want them to stay longer, and it'll help businesses more. Thank you.
I agree with Steve, we need an indoor basketball court in Daytona Beachside. It's for my kids. Right, guys? Indoor basketball court. They're always bugging me about that. We have to go all the way to Ormond. Anyway, okay. I would recruit businesses that create activity from morning through evening and serve residents as well as tourists. Locally owned restaurants in Kent, like Ms. Paris was saying. Family entertainment, beach and outdoor recreation businesses, specialty retail, live music and cultural venues, and practical services such as a small grocery store, a market with pharmacy access, like a Trader Joe's. Affordability, right? The word is affordability, Trader Joe's. Anyway. Also, we need to see about, maybe there's a way we can bring our boardwalk amusement attractions back to the boardwalk. Why? What happened? Like, I still don't understand why we don't have more attractions on the boardwalk. Someone told me someone owns a property over there and he doesn't. All right, whatever. Then also, another thing I wanted to propose was a roller rink. A roller rink on Beachside. There's no roller rink in Daytona Beach. Why? Why is there no roller rink in Daytona? Why? Nobody knows, right? How about Main Street, Seabreeze, Boardwalk? Somewhere we can put a roller rink, right? We can attract some investor with the right kind of money and drive and desire. Let's put a roller rink somewhere, maybe on Main Street. But a game time franchise or some kind of amusement for residents and tourists. Like, we have that water park, it does great. The water park is great. My kids love that water park, it's a great, let's expand the water park. Anyway, those are some of the businesses I would try to recruit.
Movie theater at the bench.
Yeah, just like Steve Miller, I moved here in 1982. It would be an interesting picture if we could see our pictures from when I was 16 and whatever age Mr. Miller was in 1980. I'm not sure. Would have been interesting seeing us back then. In 1971, when I was in first grade, we got a weekly reader, this magazine for kids, and it showed that this place called Disney World opened in a place called Orlando, and we were up in New York, and we were like, where in the world is Orlando? What is Orlando? Now they have a basketball team. And so Disney just brought Orlando to life. So I think that we should look around the entire country. I'm not sure if the city's doing that right now, but look around the entire country for a family-friendly amusement company that can come in here and revitalize our city, because wow, when Disney came to Orlando, Orlando might be still thought of as a small little village in Central Florida. And Central Florida might have just been a few roads right now if it wasn't for Disney World. Maybe not, but Disney World put it on the map. And we could really put Daytona Beach on the map again, I think, with businesses that would want to come here and invest in our area. It'd be a lot of investment, but I think it would be worth it. Thank you.
I heard somebody say when we grow up, we're gonna be a family-friendly district. And I think about it because when I go down Boardwalk and I go on Main Street and I look at these t-shirts and some of the things that's on the t-shirts, I'm thinking, I don't think I want my grandchildren coming here and looking at some of the displays that we have at our little stores. And of course in the Main Street area, all they sell is alcohol and t-shirts. I'm thinking, we need a lot of things, especially a restaurant. You could make a lot of money on Main Street. But I think that we need to work with companies to come here and really revitalize the entire Main Street area. I think that's that is one of the worst parts of our community, and even though they're not open but a couple of weeks out the year, that truly have to change. So I think that we need to come together, think about how we want to present ourselves. And currently, what we're showing is not that cool. And in the boardwalk, when we put the nice area there by the Hilton is beautiful, but when you go further down in that boardwalk area, it looks kind of, not too inviting, and I don't think people want to come and see things like that. But I think we need to invest in that particular area of our city, and we definitely need parking as well. And I'm convinced if we build them, they will come.
This for me is the $64,000 question. What specific steps would you take to integrate bike events with attractive year-round businesses on Main Street?
Well, we are going to be having a workshop about Bike Week guidelines coming up, so when that's available, Anne will probably post it and let everyone know. Bike events are one of Daytona Beach's biggest assets, but Main Street shouldn't just depend on those events alone. I'd work with the business owners, with our convention partners, with our convention visitors, to find things that are family-friendly, that do appeal to the convention visitors that we already do have. I think we have an under-tapped market with the people that are already coming to Daytona, so how can we work with the Ocean Center to find out what events are coming in. I am on the TDC, so I can find out what events are coming in and what type of groups are coming in, and also what kind of businesses that we could attract. I don't think we have to choose one or the other. I think Bike Week events with other events could commingle as well, because that is part of our Daytona Beach heritage, and I don't want to mess with that. Thank you.
Bike events are part of Daytona's culture, identity, and economy. The goal should be to preserve successful events like this while designing Main Street to work the other weeks of the year as well. what I wanted to try to propose was build a strong social media campaign that highlights Main Street, not just as a bike week destination, but as Daytona Beach's premier entertainment and dining district every season, every year. I would recruit businesses that benefit from event traffic, but remain viable year-round, and coordinate smaller food, music, art, and family programs during non-bike months. I would track storefront occupancy, event sales, and complaints so we can improve the plan each year. The goal is to turn event visitors into repeat customers and year-round supporters of our local businesses. Big shout out to not only to the Bike Week events, but to Sarah and the Main Street Merchants Association. They do a lot of events, and they've been stepping it up and doing a lot of events, especially on the weekends over on Main Street. And every time they do an event, it's successful. Great stuff over there. So big shout out to Mike Politis and Sarah and Main Street Merchants Association. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been on the campaign trail for 6 years now. I've run for Florida House of Representatives twice before city commissioner, and some of the events I've attended on Main Street were very, very nice. They closed Main Street, there was parking, I could park, I could walk around, and you could visit the businesses and get to know Main Street a bit. And so I think if we had weekend events where on a Saturday night, or maybe a Saturday in the winter, you could get tourists from around Florida to come in, have a place for them to park, close down the street, and have people be able to go to businesses, be able to walk around on the beach, and then walk to the beachside, and maybe go to the beachside, go back to Main Street, and somehow get Main Street more involved in our winter months. I think in the summer it's kind of hot, people are on the beach, that's our biggest seller during the summer. But I think during the winter we could really sell Main Street as a destination for day trippers, people who drive in from, Ocala, Gainesville, Orlando, do something different, or maybe have some kind of special event there in Main Street, something to draw them in. Because like the last speaker had said, that you're very correct, that it's part of our identity and we should not shy from showing one of our best cards, one of our best hands. So that is very much in our interest to keep this identity and improve on the Main Street's events. Thank you.
There's great advantages in going last, and you all of these good answers and stuff. But I thought about Main Street, and I can remember when I came here in 1980, working for Internal Revenue Service, we had lunch on Main Street all the time. Kay's Cafe, I think it was. I can't think of the name of it, but they go back a long ways, doesn't it? But as I spoke to business owners on Main Street the past couple of weeks, someone made this suggestion. Say, Steve, do you know in 35 years ago, if you wasn't open 250 days out the year, you were not allowed to participate in Bike Week? I went, whoa, that sounds interesting, because we are almost like a storage. We store old shirts on Main Street is what we actually do. There's no place to go and eat, but I would make it where you could not participate with the biggest events that we have if you wasn't open. And I don't care if you sublease your business, somebody needs to be there, because it's not fair to the residents and it's not fair to our tourists that come here to look for something to do, and all they can do is drink beer or liquor and buy nasty t-shirts. I would definitely make sure that you were open, because that's commerce, and it would help all of us. I would love to be able to have my visitors to come and let's go and hang out. But on Main Street, that would be the last place right now that I would want to invite my friends to come to because of that fact. But we definitely need to do something about it. And I think if we penalize folks who own these properties, they would do better.
All right, we're running a little over we are down to our last 3 questions. So thank you all for staying and being patient and paying attention. All right, next question. City and county properties are intermingled in our core tourist area. When it comes to parking, they often do not play well together. What would you do to improve that relationship?
As residents and visitors, I don't think people really care if it's a county, if it's a state. All they know is that they're in Daytona Beach, and that's what matters. When we did have our 150th event at the band shell and on Main Street, I did have staff speak with the Ocean Center, one of our partners, to make sure that we would be able to use their 2 parking lots, because the last thing I wanted was people to come to that area and not be able to provide, to find parking for the event. Because we want to make it as easy as possible for people to come to our core tourist area and not have to look for a parking spot. I know that we are in talks to see if there's anything that could be done, and I do believe that there are some properties that we might be looking into to see if we could provide more parking, but it's also identifying the parking that we already have, which we are working on as well, to centralize everything so people could go to our website and find out where we could park. But when I was campaigning 4 years ago, I was able to campaign with our current county council, so they're very accessible. And sometimes I just think it's relationships and being able to call and just ask. Sometimes people don't ask. So just ask the question, because it is possible for us to work together, because we have worked together. Thank you.
I agree with Monica again. Visitors and residents don't really care which government owns a parking space. They expect one understandable system, and will champion a formal city-county parking agreement for the core tourist area with named decision makers and regular public reporting. The first step would be a shared inventory showing every city, county, and participating private lot, its hours, price, restrictions, and accessibility. From there, I would push for coordinated signage, compatible payment options, a shared event parking map, and consistent communication before major events. The agreement should also define maintenance, security, overflow use, revenue sharing where appropriate, and a process for resolving conflicts quickly. We already have major city and county destinations beside one another. A unified parking experience would reduce confusion, traffic, and frustration while helping our visitors reach local businesses. Thank you.
Yes, as you run for office, you do notice how other cities are run. I'm sure Commissioner Paris and many other, Commissioner Strickland kind of notices this. And my wife and I were, I think, the last people before COVID had hit completely to eat at the German restaurant in Sanford. It was rather nice. I think the next day it probably had closed up due to COVID. But in Sanford, they've got this giant parking lot, and it's free. And you get to park there, you can walk to the businesses. It is so nice. In DeLand, I found a parking deck near the county office, and it's free. You can park there unlimited time. It's not 2 hours or 3 hours. You just drive in, drive out, whatever time you want. That is fantastic. But I'm a big fan of free parking because of the convenience. I know the city doesn't make money on it, but free, convenient parking, I think that the city and the county could work together to get that. I know Beachside, campaigning on Beachside has been pretty difficult because you can't park at the businesses and the streets are difficult to park in. Thank you.
I have heard for so long that there is an issue between the county and the city. They just don't get along. I'm thinking, that's weird. But I have a lot of friends that's on the county council, and I have a lot of friends on the city commission. In fact, those are things that we're going to do to make the city go forward. It's about relationship, you know, and sometimes we elect people with no personality. They don't have any outgoing anything. They don't relate to anybody. That's a whole major problem. But I think that one of our problems is parking. And I'm on the Peabody board, and he used to be on the Peabody board. And we have conflicts with what's going on over at the Ocean Center. I think coordination will help a lot. And I'm convinced if we sit down together and come up with a plan with the county and the city, and again, with an economic engine for this entire county, we just need to sit down, get with the folks who are in leadership, and come up with some directions on how we're gonna handle our parking on the beach side. Thank you.
Because I literally cannot help myself. Trolley brochures, why we need a trolley, should be part of any discussion of parking. Sorry. Okay, second to last question. The presence of homeless people in our core tourist area is often mentioned as a significant problem. How should the city address these concerns?
So I know a lot of people that are in this room right now come to city meetings and they talk about, I want to say, vagrants that we have, not homeless. So I want to separate the two because I think homelessness is a compassionate issue that we need to deal with, but we also need to respect the laws that we have in place to keep people safe. I have been working with staff to see what we could do with our DART team from our fire department to help people that have constant calls that are coming in. We were able to work with DCF and get their adult helpline to get someone in an assisted living facility and the person accepted, but then they check themselves out the next day. So we also have to keep in mind that some people just don't want the help or they're not used to it. This is still the United States of America. People have constitutional rights, but I do see the difference between a vagrant, making sure people are following laws, and also our homelessness. We're also working with staff to see if we could get a social worker to work with our police department, like New Smyrna House, because that's been very successful for them. So they know the people that are on the streets, that the people really are homeless, and they work with them to see what kind of services that we could provide. It's in the works. Once we have something more formalized, I could bring it back and let you guys know. But it's a multi-layer system. It's not something that we could provide one answer to everything. Daytona Beach was an advocate to get a homeless shelter. We are the only city in the county, well, on the east side that has a homeless shelter, and we do work with other cities to make sure that we could get funding because it all costs money too. And as you know, the next question is the property tax cut. We have to make sure that we're spending our money wisely because we might not have that much of it to spend. So everything is by a case-by-case basis, but I am working to see how we can make a difference in help. Thank you.
Being homeless isn't a crime. It's a very complicated problem, and we're not the only ones. You know, every city in America and the world has homeless problem. But I think we need to address this with and approach it with compassion and accountability at the same time. Homelessness, it's not a crime, but threatening behavior, trespassing, public drug use, and damage to property cannot be ignored. Make camping out on public property, be a little bit more strict about that, because I walk and I drive and I live and I play and on Beachside every day, all day. I walk 5 miles a day, and there's camping all throughout the beachside. Something needs to be done about the camping out on the public sidewalks, in front of businesses, on benches. Yeah, it's a big problem. I would strengthen coordinated outreach among police, First Step Shelter, the county, and behavioral health providers with teams like a task force, assemble like a task force with a mental health counselor, law enforcement, an emergency medical in place if we need them, so that we can all work together and have them walk the neighborhoods. I don't know how much that would cost, but it's something that I think would help. Like she said, and other counties do it, right? Oh, sorry. Okay, so that's it.
homelessness issue is a really big one for Daytona Beach. I'm not sure if you were aware, but a candidate for Daytona Beach City Commission, Aaron Harrison, has been homeless twice. One time he had to live in his car. And he tells his story on stage during events like this, and he's currently running for the Daytona Beach City Commission. So it's something that has even affected candidates for the City Commission that are running this race. What I have done is, I have learned from Orange County that they had a roundtable discussion one evening. Due to going to school the next day, I wasn't able to attend. It was in Orlando in the winter at night till pretty late. And so I wish I would have been able to make it. But they discussed different options and what things would cost and what they could do with experts to solve their situation that they have in Orlando. Orlando is not Daytona Beach, but we're facing the same difficulty. And it's becoming a really big problem really, really quickly. And I know we all care, the commissioners, the candidates, everyone cares about this issue. But we did have a visitor, I know Commissioner Parrish remembers, that worked with mental health, that came to a city commission meeting 2 meetings ago. And that could be a very good resource for that. Thank you.
I'm on the streets every day, and I encounter the homeless people every day. In fact, my Facebook page, about 4 of them still on the side of the road with my sign the other day. And I was thinking, this is very, very interesting. I don't know whether it's good for my campaign or bad for my campaign. But as I speak to these individuals, and I ask why you don't go to our shelter, First Step Shelter, and they say it's too far out. There's nothing, you can't go buy anything. They put you in, they act like you're in prison. They said if we had something in the city, they would definitely not be sleeping in the woods or on the benches in front of different businesses. So we really need to work on providing some place in our inner city for these individuals to stay and treat them humane. And something else too. A lot of these individuals have mental issues. A lot of them are alcoholics, and we have to begin to work on those things. I did all the social workers, the counselors, and I was standing on the road with this guy with my sign that he had. I'm not lying. I want a beer. And he said, Mr. Miller, I know what you can do. Some of these people really need some real mental help. And I'm thinking, this guy said mental help. I said, okay, good, we'll do that.
Thank you. Okay, last question. All right. Ken's ready to go home. All right. If the tax cut program is approved by the voters, the city may have to trim services and residents may have to trim their expectations. How would you balance a budget with that reduced revenue?
Well, my priority would be keeping, of course, our essential services like police, fire, infrastructure, maintenance, priority. Every other spending, I'm not too concerned with Daytona Beach because we have a lot of commercial property taxes coming in. I do worry about our sister cities that just have more residential, so they may find a little bit more difficulty in coming with things, but at the end of the day, it's going line by line, seeing what we're getting for our money. It's not just about spending less, it's like, what is the taxpayer getting back for what they are spending? So it would have to be a line by line item that I would go through. But of course, keeping our public safety, #1, and our infrastructure maintenance a priority. And then looking to see what we're getting more for our money. Thank you.
A balanced budget starts with responsible spending, not asking the taxpayers for more. First, I will conduct a top-to-bottom review of city operations to eliminate waste, improve efficiency, and prioritize core services like public safety, first responders, infrastructure, and parks and recreation. Second, I pursue more state and federal grants and strengthen public-private partnerships to reduce the burden on local taxpayers. Third, we need to grow our tax base by attracting new businesses to Daytona Beach and increasing year-round tourism, which generates additional revenue without having to raise the property taxes. I will not promise that a major revenue loss can be absorbed painlessly. I will promise, however, an open process, clear priorities, and no across-the-board cuts that treat essential and optional services as if they are the same. Thanks.
Yes, I fully agree that core services would have to be the top priority. Police, fire, maintenance of the city, things like that. So it is going to be possibly a very devastating role for Daytona Beach if we do lose the revenue. Now, too, the thing is the county has a lot of spending in the city too. The county is also involved. So the county would lose resources, money, we would lose money, and we may be blamed for what the county would be losing, because people, like I say, do they look at, does the city spend the money, give that service, or the county give that service? So all you could do is the best you can to keep the core services, and I believe too that looking at the budget and trying to make a good priority, it does make you look at the budget in a very close way. So that may be in the long run a benefit, but we'll see what happens.
Here we are again. How do we pay for things? What do we cut? Who's going to get left behind? And I come down to parks and recreation, our senior programs, and things that help deal with individuals in our community. It has to be a line-by-line budget item. And of course, we have to be very conscious when we're taking the ice to who we're going to cut out in this process. And it's a delicate situation. But the most important thing is I think that our leadership in Tallahassee truly haven't treated us right. They come up with this proposal, and then our governor says she's not going to advocate for or against. Why in the hell did you bring it up from the beginning to hurt the residents? And I think it's for to take power away from municipalities. The state is again overgrab, but again we're going to have to deal with it. As was stated, we're going to lose about $10 to $15 million the first year this goes in effect. I'm praying that the citizens realize that we have a lot more to lose than to gain by doing this.
All right, we're out of questions. Unless you have other questions, then write them down on the piece of paper and reach out to these guys after the meeting, email or phone. Now we're gonna do 1 minute close.
Thank you again to the Beachside Neighborhood Watch for putting this event on. Thank you everyone for coming and being kind to us. Thank you to all the candidates here and for running. I really do appreciate it. My priorities have been consistent since taking office. Safe, clean, welcoming neighborhoods, flooding and stormwater management, responsible development, accountability and transparency, protecting the taxpayer money, supporting local businesses, and improving the quality of life for our residents. Every decision I make, I truly ask myself, does this improve the lives of the Daytona Beach residents? I hope you guys will judge me on 3 things. I ask questions, I remain accessible to the people I serve, I focus on decisions that will strengthen Daytona Beach for the future. My name is Monica Paris, I'm your current commissioner, and I'm up for re-election for Zone 1. I humbly ask for your vote, and I've been honored to serve, and I hope that you feel the same and that I could serve for another 4 years. Thank you for being here.
Thank you to Beachside Neighborhood Watch, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you all tonight. This election is about whether residents can expect action and accountability and visible results from City Hall. I am running to support our first responders, strengthen public safety, address chronic nuisance properties, infrastructure, flooding issues, and build a beachside economy that works throughout the year. I will work with the county, the business community, and my fellow commissioners when partnership is necessary, but I will never use the need for 4 votes as an excuse not to lead. My experience taught me that you earn trust by showing up, listening, making responsible decisions, and following through. That is how I have led in business and in this community. And that is how I will serve on the Daytona Beach City Commission. I respectfully ask for your vote for me, Christos Mavronas, Zone 3 Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody for being here. A few years ago, my wife and I had visited Monticello and Montpelier, Jefferson Madison's houses in Virginia. And I think tonight we are living in the shadow of the Founding Fathers. So thank you, fellow candidates, Commissioner Paris, for this. I think the Founding Fathers would be very proud of us. My campaign slogan is vision and heart. Govern with vision and heart. And I believe that I'll give as much vision as I can. I think it's a time in Daytona Beach's history where we need vision in Daytona Beach. And I'm proud to be in Daytona Beach. I got a shirt tonight that says I'm a proud Daytona Beach resident. And I showed that shirt very proudly. And also heart. I think we do need the homeless issue with people who are suffering in our community, that we do need to give heart also. And I know all the candidates here have a big heart. So John Navarra, and I would be very proud to represent Daytona Beach, the city, and very humbly ask for your consideration. And whoever you choose, I know that we will all of us here tonight will make Daytona Beach a better place in the future. I know we're going to stay involved no matter what. So thank you.
Again, thank you, Beachside Neighborhood Watch, and thank you guys for participating as well. I think one of the most important things is to be involved, to be in contact with you. And if you didn't notice anything else about the campaign, I think all of y'all have heard the name of Steve Miller, not just Steve Miller Band. You've seen a lot of signs throughout the neighborhood. I've not done many of yours because it's not worth it if it's not about helping you. A lot of times people go into different occupations, and I'm so grateful that I felt that I was born to be a public servant. In fact, it's things that people say what you would do for free is really what your calling is. I've served for the last 31 years free of charge. I spent a lot of time in Geneva trying to help my fellow man. It's my calling. I love what I do, and if I'm elected as your representative, I will make sure that you're in constant contact with me. You don't have to go looking for me. When you call, I'm gonna answer. If you email, we're gonna turn it. If you text, we're gonna text you back. So I promise you, I will be there for you. I'm never gonna leave you, not neglect you. And I'm looking forward to the next 4 years working with the Daytona Beach City Commission. As I stated, it's about getting along with people. And I'm from the old school. I'm trying to win friends and influence individuals. So again, my name is Steve Miller. I'm thrilled to be here. God bless and good night. And the Bible says, he who was last will be first.
Well, there's an interesting date. All right. Thank you all so much for participating tonight. You guys are awesome. I'm so grateful you're running. It's a huge amount of work. And I also want to thank Sharon, our timekeeper. She did an awesome job. That is not the most fun job in the world. So we're asking that before you leave, you please bust your tables. Make sure there's nothing on the tables. And yes, wait. We have another structural announcement.
If you guys could be so kind, the school will be using this event area tomorrow, so we just need to not push, but move the tables back. Like, we just need the 6 tables as they are, but then closer to the back TV. If you guys
We're
could.
on it. We've been instructed. We're on it.